Yesterday, I took a little afternoon off and went downtown and had a little ice cream at the Collective Kitchen because I do love the soft serve ice cream at the Collective Kitchen. But after that, and for your viewing pleasure, I popped into the antique store that's just down the street from the Collective Kitchen. I'm going to put the information in the messages below, in the info below. And there was a little development. Besides getting shopping around, which you get to participate in as well, I'm going to show you what I bought, which, I put them away. I got 2 pairs of leather evening gloves, one brown, one white, and those are hard to find to fit. Even though my hands are really small, I hardly ever find any gloves to fit me, so that was super exciting, and they were cheap. I also got one of the favorite things that I like to find at antique stores, metal zippers. Love the metal zippers. So I found 3 metal zippers for, I think, $2, which was great. 50 cents more than they would have been brand new, but cheap for today's amounts. And then in addition to that, I stopped at the front desk to see if I could get on their wait list for a booth and or shelf. And guess what they had available? A shelf. So I will now have a place to put my stuff at the antique store. I think I've talked about this before. My cousin Jane had to move from her condo in Western Washington all the way to the Tri-Cities in Eastern Washington because she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she's doing really well, by the way, although she's bored where she lives. But she had to downsize like a lot, and she got rid of a lot of her treasures that she collected for years in Vienna. Her treasures are beautiful. She had very good taste. And she has given me quite a few of them, but there were more than I could absorb into my house, given that I have my own treasures. So I am helping her shift those, and I have been trying to get a spot at the antique malls somewhere and couldn't until now. But today we have one. We're starting with a shelf, which I think is better. Taking on a whole booth would have been a lot. And I'm going to gather up some of the goods to go on that shelf, get them priced, and get them in there so that we can start downsizing some of these collections. We're going to be there Saturday, so if you want to go, the info is below. I should be set up probably, by Sunday. Go on Sunday, don't even go on Saturday, because I'm likely to be there in the morning setting up. But yeah, it'll be fun, hopefully, and hopefully work well and shift stuff. All right, enjoy the tour of the antique mall. I'm going to over talk because I finally figured out how to do that. Talk about some of the stuff I found, and then I'll see you out. So I always go the same direction through this antique mall every time I go, and I go on the regular because it is just 3 or 4 blocks from my house. But I walk into the side room where that's usually where the sewing stuff turns up. This was a display of toys. Then we have books. I always look at the books because I always hope to find sewing or needlework related books. That is a film winder right down there on the right. And boxes. There's always nice boxes. A couple of really pretty quilts and a lovely quilt stand. The rugs were interesting. I did go check out the rugs, but I really I'm looking for orange and sort of an olive sage green, so the red just wasn't cutting it. Oh my gosh, those Christmas ornaments will be a find for someone because those are old school, at least 1950s, if not older, and beautiful. Oh, and look at the birdie. That one actually was the first tempting item I saw. I didn't look at the price tag because I knew I needed to leave it behind. I know my grandkids would love the Barbie Friendship airplane. It got sold while I was in there. All right, what else do we have? Oh, these are my favorite. I always look through these little bags of tchotchkes. And right there are some little apple tie-backs for curtains. It would be beautiful in the kitchen. I'm about to show them to you. Right there. They called them roller shade pulls. I think they'd make cute tie-backs. And I do happen to have some that are cork on the back. They were my grandmother's. Oh, this china closet, if it weren't blue and short, I'd have been sorely tempted. It's a little rustic for my furniture. Really pretty. I think it was pretty expensive. It was like $7.50. All right, now we're walking in the back. Glassware. Lots of glassware. More books. Leave a comment below if you find something that you're interested in. Dolls. I did notice there were a lot of dolls this time. Somebody must have brought in dolls that they didn't want anymore. Because they were not just in this room, but in the other rooms as well. I always like the little glassware. Yeah, look at this. She looks very Edwardian, that wedding doll. Oh, and then the clothing. I always check out the sweaters. They looked like a nice wool sweater, but it was a turtleneck. And then down at the end were under things. Maybe Edwardian. Definitely the baby dress looked a little Edwardian and was nice and linen-y. Yeah. I'm not sure you'll be able to see that very well, though. Cute little end tables, but I have my fill of end tables. Oh, and the dishes. So cute. Coming up is where I found my gloves. They had a whole... oh, yeah, look at that cute thing. That was beautiful handwork. Oh, the green bowl. I missed that. I'm looking at it again and seeing it. All right, right down in this little container. Here we go. You're going to get to see it. I may shut this off because I had to start looking. Right in this container were where all the leather gloves were, plus fur pieces. The gloves were a winner. Let's see if I can pick up a pair. That was fur pieces, cowhide pieces, and the fur stole. There, I bought those. They were white leather kid gloves. Let's see, there, I tried them on, and they were tight, but I got them on. And then those, I bought those as well. So, and not bad. I think the white ones were 12 and those were 6. There were several pairs that I tried on. Those were beautiful. There were black ones and several brown ones. I could tell on some of them that they were just way too small. But if you have smaller hands than me, you should go try them on. Especially if you like to do costuming, period costuming. All right, we've moved on and into one of the other booths. Beautiful picture frames, glassware. This booth often has baskets.
It's a nice basket.
And so I always pop in and have a look around to see if there's an interesting basket that I don't need. I never need another basket. Unfinished objects potential here. They were all finished, but they were all pretty lovely. Very beautiful. Nothing that caught my eye, though. Again, I have an abundance of table linens now, so. Always look at the Starbucks mugs. Just a little wander. Those rainbow mugs were cute, weren't they? Well displayed. This booth has books, and I have in the past found needlework magazines in here. Cute ad. Now I'm upstairs. So upstairs on the landing, and I probably shouldn't be telling you this because it's a secret that only a few of us know, there is a booth that takes up quite the amount of square footage that holds vintage fabrics, vintage laces, vintage patterns. It is a sewing person's dream come true. I didn't find anything that I had to have this time, but I'm also trying not to buy too much. But it's worth looking at. I have found things many times, as I know so have my friends have, separately from me. That was a pretty crochet piece there. from across the room, I spotted. There we go. Oh, what have we looked at here? Oh, bark cloth. I spotted bark cloth. I didn't love it, and I quite have, to be frank, I have some bark cloth. But there is bark cloth at the antique store right now, and some pretty tea towel tabletop covers. That one's pretty. More bark cloth, I believe. And more bark cloth. Do love the bark cloth. I wasn't inspired to make a garment, though. Again, this is all that lady on the landing that has, I assume lady, fabric stuff and sewing stuff. Trims and things. This looks like a new person. I don't think this was the same stuff. Well, even though I swear that the green glass that escapes me the name of right now. And then into another room. I did think this shelf was for rent, but this is not the shelf I've ended up in. It's good, because I really wouldn't want to have a shelf next to the toilet. I think this is a new vendor. It had different things than the last time. Checking the books. Always check the books. That green was pretty nice. It's 1970s, but it's kind of pretty, isn't it? I have a thing for green, remember. Cute teacups. Have too many. And another room. It is a bit of a warren of places to look and things to see, as all good antique malls are. That little cardigan was cute. Not handmade, but cute. All right. I always look at vintage patterns when I find some. These happen to all be kids' patterns. But I'm going to show you one here in a second that I had as a child. I know my mom made me that dress, or somebody in my family made me that dress. That's the view across the theater. Okay, now this last room we're going into was quite fascinating. One, look at the doilies in the hoops on the wall. Super cute. I need to think about that as I make things. The hankies hung on the window frame. Super cute. And then this gal is taking some of these vintage pieces, hankies and doilies. Oh, and here's where I found my zippers. Took those. But she's turning them into aprons and bags to carry. And I thought that was quite clever and quite interesting. And goodness knows I have a lot of vintage table linens at my house, some of which really are not in a good enough shape to leave intact. So I really need to think about sewing them into some serviceable items. Little piece of quilt there. And here we go to the I think those are just ties. She made little ties and belts and such. It's a cute room. I like this room at the antique mall, although it's upstairs. Here's the bags. So here are the bags made out of vintage linens. Just a short clip. Reminder, Wednesday I'm doing a live stream where we are going to start the lace knit along so that I can help you, beginning lace knitters, get a handle on reading charts, how to organize your stitches, how to keep track of stitches, how to keep track of rows, All of that is starting Wednesday with our little cast on party. So don't forget to come and show up and see us. It's going to be noon Wednesday. See you then. All right, that's it for today. A little antique adventure. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's always fun to go to antique stores, don't you think? What do you think? Kelly and I have an awesome time at the antique stores. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You know from us, you're getting a mix of stuff: gardening, farming, crafting, knitting, crochet, lace making, and trips to fun places. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.